I, 26. F, was with my ex-boyfriend, 26. M, for 4 years. We moved in after 2 years of dating and were genuinely happy. I genuinely thought that I was going to marry him one day. I even moved to a different country to stay with him when his job relocated him to Europe. Throughout our relationship I noticed that one of his girlfriends, 25. F, didn't really like me. I've tried many times to befriend her but I gave up after constantly being on the receiving end of her cold shoulder and snarky remarks. X knew about this and told me that she didn't have that many girlfriends and probably didn't know how to be friends with another woman. She's the only woman in their clique of 7 guys, who were all lovely to me. On the 31st of December 2019, both of us attended a party to celebrate New Year's. I don't drink so I was completely sober. X got completely smashed. The next afternoon I woke up to my stuff packed and him telling me that we were done and that I had to move out. I was completely blindsided and so confused. He accused me of cheating on him. I would never do that. I think it's such a terrible thing to do. I remember crying so hard and telling him that I did no such thing but he still kicked me out. My best friend and her boyfriend, without hesitation, opened up their home to me and told me that I was welcome to stay. Bless their hearts. They're the sweetest couple ever. During that dark period of time, I was trying to process everything. I was honestly so depressed. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I felt like a zombie, like I was barely existing. I told my family what had happened and they were very upset for me and wanted me to fly back home. They live in a different country and I didn't want to travel during a pandemic and potentially put them at risk of catching Miss Ronas. While this was happening, all of our mutual friends and his family members turned against me, choosing to believe that I was a cheater and completely cut me off in support of my ex. They posted shady stuff about me online, calling me a hoe and a cheater. Rumors started to spread and it affected me so much that I deleted all social media and blocked all of them everywhere. I just wanted to disappear. As time went on, I was one day introduced to one of my best friend's friend. He was really sweet and kind. We slowly became friends, started chatting and video calling. Fast forward to June and I feel myself slowly falling in love with him. He doesn't believe what so many people say about me being a cheater and whatnot. He asks me out on a proper virtual date and I agree. We started dating and I'm so happy. I feel like he is the light at the end of my tunnel. Well, yesterday, someone from my ex's clique leaked a video on Instagram where my ex's girlfriend was boasting of how she lied and came up with this plan to break up my ex and I. She apparently paid someone to lie to my ex and tell him that I seduced him at the New Year's party and slept with him. Once that came out, a lot of my ex's friends and family members have been trying to contact me. They tried contacting my best friend who basically told them to F off. My ex came to the house and was begging for me to speak to him. It was really dramatic. Lol. I feel like I don't owe them any of my time at all and just want them to leave me alone. However, my parents think that it's a little sad that my ex is outside the house crying and begging to speak to me. They think that maybe I should give him a chance to speak to me. I feel really conflicted. I feel like I'm being too harsh on him and his group of friends. Should I establish a line of communication? What should I do? Small update. Hello everybody. I posted an update but I deleted it after a few people created accounts pretending to be my friend or family of my ex. That was weird. I think the update is somewhere floating in the comments. Thank you everyone for your kind messages and comments. I'm trying to reply to everyone slowly. It just kind of freaks me out to get messages telling me to kill myself. Which to me is so unnecessary. I wish this was fake but it's not. Also, girlfriend has lost her job and has said that she's going to deal with me. I've taken everything and gone to the police. I've also sent my friends all the evidence in case something bad happens. So there's that. Update 2. Hello, I am back with an update. But before that I just want to say thank you to everybody who left nice comments. A few of y'all were telling me to kill myself. I am disappointed but not surprised. Anyway, for someone who has had a bad relationship with social media, it really touched my heart to have so many strangers say nice things to me for a change. I just wanted to let you know that I really appreciate it. Also, the post received multiple awards. Thank you for those. So many people have also messaged me telling me that this has happened to them before and I'm trying to reply all the messages as quickly as I can. Please be patient with me. My ex returned a few hours later that day to try to speak to me again, so I decided to meet him at a cafe nearby. I told him he had 30 minutes to say what he wanted to and then I would leave, regardless of whether he said all that he wanted to or not. I learned that he was cheating on me with a girlfriend and they started seeing each other 5 to 6 months before our relationship ended. His whole clique knew about it and since majority of them worked in the same building, they could cover and vouch for the two of them whenever they were together. He didn't know who to choose out of the two of us as he said that he really loved me, but liked her. She was also saying horrible things about me to him all the time, poisoning his mind, which was why he was so quick to believe the boy in her. As for the paying a boy to lie to him part, he told me he practically screamed at her for an explanation of the videos and she broke down crying and told him everything. At the party, she paid a boy from uni, I'd where she found this boy and how he got into the party, $200 and 2 bottles of vodka for him to lie to my ex. Apparently she kept saying to him, "See, I told you she's cheating. He's admitting it to you." He was so upset and didn't know what to do. She told him that she'll help him pack my shit so he could finally kick that hoe out. They both decided to just behave as though nothing had happened so I would be so surprised when he kicked me out. According to him, he wanted me to feel the same amount of betrayal he felt. She had a spare key to our apartment that I didn't know about, so she snuck in when we were sleeping, packed my stuff into garbage bags and snuck out by the time he woke up. We turned our extra room into a walk-in closet, which is how I think that was even possible because I didn't hear any noise at all. I am a heavy sleeper too, which could explain this, but I still feel like something's off about this. Note, she moved in the very next day. He then proceeds to say that he doesn't want her anymore and he wants to get back together. He says that we can move away and start over. He'll do anything I want and go anywhere I want to. He'll spend the rest of his life doing whatever it takes for me to love him again. Once he was done, I told him what you guys have been saying in the comments. He sure has the audacity to show his face after everything he has done to me. I chose to forgive him and am at peace with myself, but he will have to live with what he has done in the aftermath of everything for a really long time. This is especially so with many people knowing the truth. I told him I didn't love him anymore and want nothing to do with him, his family or friends anymore. As far as I am concerned, they're all dead to me. I told him to never contact me again because I'm moving on with my life and I'm finally happy. He started crying a little and I left. Since the video on Instagram spread to all of his friends and family members, the crazy girlfriend sent me emails with words in all caps about how I've ruined her life. She somehow thinks I'm responsible for the spread of the videos. So I sent the videos, a screenshot of the emails and a short explanation of everything to her bosses and her family members. Hope they have a field day with that. As for my parents, they really loved him a lot and would constantly ask us when we were getting married when we were together. That's why they wanted me to give him another chance and hear him out. I reiterated to them everything that he did to me and even showed them the videos only for me to get a response of, well, men cheat and he loved you so he didn't break up with you. It's okay, you guys can work through this. I then proceeded to ask them if my dad is cheating on my mom and if my mom just accepts if my dad sleeps around because that thought process was absolutely outrageous. I got yelled at for being rude, so I told them that I would be going no contact for the next few months. Well, that's all the updates I have so far. I'm glad that I'm finally happy and will continue living my peaceful life with my friends and my boyfriend. Hope you all stay safe during this pandemic. Let's dive into the second story. Story 2. Pregnant wife confessed to cheating but refuses prenatal paternity test. Might get blasted for mistreating a pregnant woman, but it doesn't really matter at this point. I'm mainly just using this to crystallize my emotions in writing and vent. My wife is around 2 months pregnant. At first, I was overjoyed when I found out, but 10 days ago she admitted to having unprotected sex with a colleague at around the time she got pregnant. This has been the longest 10 days of my life. I'm humiliated by the betrayal. I've decided to stay in the marriage if I am the father of the child, but emotionally, there's no way that I can take the stress of it possibly not being mine for 7 more months. The anxiety has been eating me alive day and night for the past week, so I told her today to do a prenatal paternity test so we can know for sure whose child it is by the end of the week. She refused and said that she would be way too stressed if we did that and that the stress hormones coursing through her body wouldn't be good for the baby. I pointed out how short-sighted this is, since I would do the paternity test eventually anyway and it would just shorten the stress for both of us if we found out who the father is by this weekend. I also said that even if we decided to get divorced right now, we would still be married by the time the child is born, so I would be the legal father by default if that is what she wanted. She still refused and said there's no way she's going to do a prenatal paternity test. I was pretty infuriated by this point, so I ended the conversation by saying that if she doesn't get the test, I would refuse to stay at the hospital when she is in labor, refuse to sign any paperwork acknowledging me as the father, get a paternity test, and legally challenge my paternity as soon as I find out the child isn't mine. If she continues to refuse the paternity test, I am considering divorcing her even if the child is mine. I've lost most of my feelings for her after hearing about the cheating. If the child is mine, I should be eligible for joint 50-50 custody even though it will be a very young child. My wife and I also make about the same amount of money, so I shouldn't even be paying her any alimony or child support either, especially if we get 50-50 custody. So I should be in the clear legally. But there's still no way I can take this for 7 more months. I don't know what I'll do. Update, posted 4 months ago. I never found out whether I was the father or not. She miscarried not long after I made the post, and a test was never done. Or honestly, she may have just aborted it. I hope that the child, whether mine or not, is at peace now. But quite frankly, I would rather just not think more about this whole situation anymore. I just want to move on with my life at this point. The divorce was pretty swift and straightforward. We make similar incomes, so there wasn't really much to contest. I let her keep the house and she paid me half of the equity. It was a pretty silent and emotionless split. I just wanted to go my own separate way in life, and maybe she felt the same way. As an aside, I want to address the comments in the old post claiming that a prenatal paternity test would cause a miscarriage. I asked her for a non-invasive prenatal paternity test that would not have caused any harm to the mother or the child. It would have just been a simple blood draw from the pregnant mother and a cheek swab from the suspected father. Things have been rough, but I'm looking forward to the future. I've been working out and sauna bathing regularly, which has improved my mood quite a bit. I might go back to school for a master's degree, really increases income potential in my line of work. Thanks for the well wishes, strangers. Your kind words provided me with a lot of hope at a dark time. If you've made it to this point, you're a beast. Don't forget to like this episode and subscribe to the channel. As always, see you in the next video.